Hello friends, welcome to Nand Kishore classes. Today's lecture is going to be very interesting as we are going to start probability topic. Probability is widely used topic, practical topic, in real life we use it. Before we start studying theoretical point of view, I would like to explain that knowingly or unknowingly how we use probability. For example, even sometimes we start guessing at different places. You are watching a cricket match along with your friend and suddenly you will start thinking, oh, in this ball he is going to make a six or not. You make some assumptions in your mind and you start guessing it. And that guessing is what? It is nothing but probability. It is the chances you are thinking that this can happen. So whenever you are thinking that something can happen, that means you are using this probability topic. If you have not studied this topic, still you are using it. That is why I say this is very important. Very important topic for taking the decisions. For government, you just see that government needs to take a decision in certain weather. That how government takes the decisions in last 10 years. Government is having, let's suppose, data of last 10 years that in 2011 this was happened, in 2012 this much rain happened, in 2013 this much rain has happened. So accordingly, based on past data, they assume that this will happen or this can happen. That is why some decisions can be taken. This is what probability. So probability is the chances of something to happen. What is the probability? Chances. Now, as we know now that this is very important topic in real life, so be very sincere in learning it. Probability, how to find? There are two types of probabilities. One is practical, one is theoretical. Practical, like based on the past real data which you have, accordingly you give the answer. Whereas theoretically, we are going to discuss right now, probability formula is, first of all, I would say formula needs to be remembered, how to find the probability. And this formula is applicable in real probability as well as theoretical both. It is the number of favorable outcomes. You can note it down. Number of favorable outcomes to be divided by total number of outcomes. Now I am going to show you how this formula is used in different types of questions. Now I have written P alone. We can write it as probability of an event. In bracket I am writing E. E means event. Now what is event? Event is the situation for which you are finding the probability. Let us suppose you are having some data with you. Let us suppose I am talking about team A. You are having data of team A that in last 100 matches, let's suppose you have gathered the data of team A that in last 100 matches, team A has won 70 matches. How many matches it has won? 70 matches team A has won. Okay, this is the data I am having. And next day, if now somebody asks me, we have gone for watching their match and team A is playing there, and you need to find the probability that what is the probability team A is going to win. Firstly, I will write it as probability for team A to win. Okay, I am writing probability of team A to win. Formula is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Now I need to reply based on the previous data which I am having. I am having data of total how many matches? 100 matches. So total remains 100. I am writing it in denominator. Now winning probability I am finding, so I should know how many matches team A had won in last 100 matches. It had won 70 matches. That means 70 matches are in my favor. 0 and 0 is cancelled. So we can write 7 over 10. So probability of team A winning is 7 over 10, which can be written in decimal also, which is 0.7. And if by chance you are asked what is the probability of losing the game for team A, what I'll do, probability of team A to lose the game, total remains 100 because total matches data which I am having, that is 100 only. But how many matches they had lost? 30 matches, because 70 they had won, so 30 they had lost. That means 30 over 100, it will give me probability of team A to lose the game. That is how, based on past data, probability is found. But this is not the only case. Different situations you can have. Maybe let's suppose last 10 years data I am keeping with me, that every month of June it is raining or not raining. Out of last 10 years, 6 times it was a rainy season, 4 times it was not. The probability of this time it will rain or not, it based on the past data. If 6 times it was raining, that means 6 upon 10 is the probability that rain will happen. But that depends situation to situation, based on the data you can give the answer. Second important concepts, this is the based on previous data. But let's suppose you are not having data with you, but different scenarios are there. Theoretical probability, which I was saying, head and tail cases, coin cases, very important. Even for any kind of toss during the match, coin is used. Why? Because it has only 2 outcomes, either head or tail, and chances of both to come are same. Chances for head and tail both are same. When chances of both events are same, these kind of outcomes are known as equally likely outcomes. I am writing equally likely outcomes. So we are going to discuss few cases where equally likely outcomes are there. Equally likely outcomes, first I am going to talk about coin, because coin has 2 outcomes only, head and tail. And if we are to find what is the probability that head will come, what is the probability for head to come when you toss a coin, you will say, sir, 2 total outcomes are there, one is head and one is tail. So total is 2, so I am keeping 2 in the denominator. Out of these 2, if I want head to come, that means head is in my favor. So probability of head is 1 over 2. Because from these 2 outcomes, only one outcome is head. And if I am told to find probability of tail, I will again get 1 over 2. One point very important which you should note here. Head and tail both are the outcomes of the same event. If I am finding individual probabilities of both events, both outcomes, and if you add their probabilities, you will be getting 1. So do remember, for any event, whatever the total outcomes are, different outcomes are, if you find probability of each outcome separately and add them at the end, you are definitely going to get 1. This result is very important. You know how this result is important? Because sometimes what happens, sometimes you get this question that probability of an event is 0.4. Find the probability of not happening that event. These are the kind of questions usually they are asked. So I was about to reach to these type of questions. As you had seen, probability of head was 1 by 2 and probability of tail was 1 by 2, right? When head is 1 by 2 probability, there are only 2 outcomes. If head is not coming, that means tail is coming, right? Something will come. So don't you think I can write it as probability of head is 1 by 2 and probability of not head, this is also 1 by 2, right? Having head probability is 1 by 2, not head probability is all, because not head means tail, do remember it. So in short, what result I am making here, that probability of something to happen and probability of something to not happen, their addition is always 1. Do remember this important result. Now if I need to find probability of not happening an event, this will go to the right side, will be subtracted. That means probability of not happening an event can be found by 1 minus 0.4 here, which will be 0.6. If happening of something is having some probability, not happening of that, you just need to subtract from 1. I hope this type is clear, but this is not the end. Lot of things are there which we are going to discuss. Let me clarify one more concept. In this case of head and tail which we are discussing, it's not always like one coin is tossed. Sometimes you will get questions when two coins are tossed together. Two coins tossed together means in both of your hands two different coins are there and you are throwing them. Then how many possibilities will be there? This hand can get head, this hand can also get head, this hand can get head, this one can get tail. Tail, head, tail, tail. There are total 4 outcomes. I am writing here for two coins tossing together. When two coins toss together, then you have these possibilities. It can be head, head, it can be head, tail, it can be tail, head, it can be tail, tail. Do remember first of all total outcomes when two coins are tossed. Right? And if I ask when two coins are tossed together, what is the probability that both coins are getting head? Formula still remains same. Favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes. Now how many total outcomes are there? Total outcomes are 4. Out of these 4, how many are having both heads? I'll say only one is having G. So that means 1 over 4 is the answer. And if we get a question probability of head or tail, just a minute. Let's suppose we get a question, if two coins are tossed together, what is the probability of one head and one tail? Probability of one head and one tail. Now one head and one tail means total is still 4, it will remain 4, but there are two options which has one head and one tail. So that means 2 over 4 is the probability. You can cancel them out. We will get 1 over 2. So half is the probability for this situation to happen. I hope you are clear with equally likely outcomes for single throw of a coin, two throws of a coin simultaneously. And one important last point of this lecture. Probability of an event, its maximum value is 1 and minimum value is 0. It can never be negative. It can never be negative. Why? Because if I can guarantee of something to happen, I'll say 100% this is going to happen. 100% this is going to happen. 100% means what? 100% means if you remove percent sign, you will write 100 in the denominator. If you cancel them, you will get 1. That is what I am saying. When you are 100% sure that this is certainly to happen, still it is 1. 1 or 100%. This type of event which is sure to happen, they are known as sure event, or their another name is certain event, which will definitely happen. And sometimes, let's suppose a bag is having red color balls and I tell you that I am trying to get one ball out of it. What is the probability that white ball will come in my hand? You will say 0% probability, because this bag was having all red balls in it. Zero ball cannot come out, white ball cannot come out of it, right? So what will happen? Zero probability, but it is not going to negative. When you are sure that this is not going to happen, still it is going to be zero. 0 or 0% you can say, and this is known as impossible event, which is not going to happen, impossible event. And obviously remaining all probabilities lies between 0 and 1. It can be written in fractions, it can be written in percentages, it can be written in decimals. Anyways, so today I tried to clarify the basic concept of probability. In our upcoming lectures, we will be covering different type of questions which you will definitely enjoy and would be helpful for exams also. But before doing those questions, this much introduction was sufficient. I hope you are able to understand. Thank you so much.